How to Hide a Promiscuous Past from Your New Man is the title of today's video. This is an ongoing trend that can be found on Quora, Reddit, and a variety of other sites, where women are reporting that men are dumping them because they discovered they have a high notch count. You know why stand-up comedy is so funny and why you crack up while listening to these guys is because every joke is true. It is always at the expense of someone. So even in satire, they're trying to tell you something. But I'd like to read this to you and let you know what you think in the comments. How can you deceive your boyfriend about your past today? The first step is to figure out how many people he has slept with. So to find it right away as if it's more than what you bagged thus far chilled, you don't have to say anything secondly, lie. It's as simple as that. If it's important, follow up with an almost virginal act. But don't go overboard. Number 3, tell it all if you must, but with a twist, like elevating a couple of bonks to the status of an old boyfriend. That way you can get down to telling stories about 2 or 3 men at a time. You must realize that you cannot rely on what they say. It's always deceptive, and there's some of it that's intentional and some of it that's unintentional. It's intentional in the sense that women don't want to be slut-shamed. They don't want to be made to feel bad for past decisions, and they don't want to be held accountable. Today, there is a new age movement in which women are told they can be as promiscuous as men without consequences, which we all know is not true. Tell the truth, says number 4, and it says that while some men aren't bothered by a woman's lively past, I'll make sure you're dating one. The only guys who are unconcerned about a woman's promiscuous past are the new age progressive liberal left-leaning beat-up males. They're just like, oh, it doesn't matter. Why is it your business? Those kinds of lyrics. But your typical high-value guy recognizes that she's concerned about his future, and he needs to be concerned about her past. Number 5, pretend your previous lovers were terrible. This would be good, and even if you decided to apologize for revealing everything, remember that you didn't enjoy it either. It's not that it didn't mean anything, it just means so much more to him. You're the best is always well received. 6, they'd accuse you of being abused. Don't let your man think too critically when you're being creative with the truth toy, with his emotions by hinting or even saying outright that many of your previous boyfriends abused you. The 7th, do your cyber off correctly. What does this mean for cyber operations? These chicks have these terms that make no sense to half of the world today, and you already knew to prune any evidence from your social media, so deleting out evidence of the promiscuous past, which makes sense. I've seen women do it. So it's 100% confirmed. But I bet you didn't know you should also create plausible cover stories for missing information or time blocks. They've also confirmed that blaming it on an ex hacking and vandalizing your accounts after a bad breakup is a good old standby. But you can really let your imagination run wild here. The more elaborate and planned the story, the more difficult it will be to crack. Number 8, and finally, always involve trustworthy friends in the conspiracy. This is the whole sisterhood thing, where women always have each other's backs at the expense of guys. You must understand that even if they are married, women will prefer their friends over their man. They will prefer a sisterhood to their husbands. She suggests telling her friends about the big lie because you don't want to be in a social situation where one of them suddenly blurts out, "Do you remember when we were in Ibiza and you did it with 3 men?" So here's a Reddit thread asking if I should hide my promiscuous past when starting a new relationship. I'm a 23-year-old female with a higher than average number of previous sexual partners, and being honest and open about it got me in a lot of trouble. First and foremost, I got into trouble at work for it. After I told my coworkers, she made a big deal out of it, and word spread throughout the office behind my back. It was so humiliating that I decided to leave rather than stay. I was 13 at the time, and I had a lot of partners since then, but they never took it positively. Should I just lie and tell them a lower or more average number if I keep a secret? Should I keep looking for a partner who will put up with this? I'm going to end this lesson on this point. Women are concerned about a man's financial future and his ability to provide. I've often said that women waited at the finish line and chose the winners. Women have a lot of patience for younger men who have a plan to achieve greatness. They don't have much patience for an older man with a plan and nothing to show for it. It is still pursuing excellence, but men must consider women's history. Men need to look at her past, especially if you're going to consider her for anything long-term girlfriend material, mother of your children. Any woman with a very high notch count is a bad choice. Don't forget to hit the like button to help spread the word about this video. Thank you for taking your daily dose of red pills, and remember that a red pill a day keeps bad poker hands away. So have a good rest of your day and cheers.